Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's Hi Vibin It. This is your hostess, I should say,
With the
Kelsey Aida,
mostest.
hostess with the mostest, and your co-host here that's pitching in, that would be Miss Lindsay Robinson. She's amazing. She's a hypnotherapist. Also, you guys don't usually get to see us because you're listening to us, but if you watch on our Patreon, you will see that Lindsay is just as beautiful as she is amazing.
You are just
Like
so
a little
nice to
Snow
me right
White.
now. Oh my gosh. I wish I could hug you.
Well, it's just worth mentioning, like go to Patreon and see how pretty Lindsay is.
If for no other reason, just see what we look like.
Yeah.
Well, you're freaking gorgeous, so be quiet. So, yes, I'm Lindsay. I'm a hypnotherapist, and we have a really, really fun show for you today. Tell them what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about moon magic and everything that has to do with utilizing the power of the moon to help manifest your intentions, to cultivate certain energies that you're aiming towards, to refresh and reset every month. And we'll be focusing mainly on the full moon and the new moon because that's really all that we care about. Those are the two big ones. We're not like moon experts or anything, but we are definitely moon magic practitioners. So we'll be sharing our secrets and our rituals and our little things that we like to do every month during the full moon and the new moon. And it's perfect timing because the full moon is upon us. The full moon in Taurus, which is happening technically tomorrow, but probably when the majority of people listen to this, it will already be tomorrow. So that's Tuesday, November 12th.
The vibes will still be there, so this is a good one. This is a really, really good full moon. It's the full moon in Taurus, number one, which is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is the planet of love. It's the planet of manifesting because it's also the planet of money. So if you're in need in it in any of those areas, this is the full moon you want to pay attention to. So focus your intentions on like where you're going and what's no longer serving you. That's kind of key for every full moon, but especially in terms of finances, in terms of maybe your career success or manifesting or manifesting a relationship or love or something like that. Definitely pay attention to the thoughts that you're having and do they reflect where you're going from today. So the full moon, can I tell the people the times so that they know?
Yeah.
The full moon is, if you're on Pacific time, it's supposed to be at 5:34 a.m. tomorrow morning, so in just a few hours. And that would be 8:34 for Eastern time. So I don't know what it is in Australia or London, but just add like 8 or 18 hours depending on where you are.
Just do the math.
And in Hawaii, it's 2:34 a.m. So yeah, pay attention to those times. I know you're all probably asleep. The things that we're going to talk about today can be done really as long as the full moon energy is around, which is, I read like 3 days before and 3 days after, but as close to the full moon as you can get will probably have it more magnified.
Yeah,
right?
For me, I usually stick to like a 3-day rule. So the day of the actual full moon would be like the middle day, and then the day before and the day after when it still looks really full and you could like think it's full moon, but you have to like check your app to make sure if it's a full moon or not. That is also like a good time to utilize the energy of the full moon.
Yeah, so we have a lot of good stuff coming to you and a lot of good information that has worked for both of us. But first, we want to talk about the first sponsor of the show, which is BetterHelp.
Which we love.
Yes, we absolutely do. Kelsey, why don't you tell them about it?
Yes. So BetterHelp is amazing because it's basically a way for you to have virtual therapy sessions. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can have a therapist. And that's honestly one of the best life tools you can get. So if you've ever thought about talking to someone, but you're unsure of where to start, BetterHelp makes it super easy to connect with a licensed professional counselor, caring professionals specializing in the issues that you want to talk about. Join BetterHelp and get help at your own time and your own pace. You can schedule secure video and phone sessions or even text your therapist worldwide. And you can start communicating in under 24 hours, which is super amazing. So if you're having a moment, you don't have to wait long to get help. It's truly an affordable option, and Hi Vibin It listeners get 10% off your first month with the discount code Vibin. So if you've been wanting to talk, you can get started now. Go to betterhelp.com/Vibin. Simply fill out the questionnaire and get matched with the counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/Vibin.
Vibin. Yeah, go check it out, you guys. And I don't know about you, Kelsey, but I definitely feel a significant energy shift closer to the moons. Like, I don't know, I don't want to like downplay anybody's anxiety or anything, or like claim that this is definitely the way that it is, but we 100% are affected by the moon. We just are. If we're a living human, then we're affected by it, and the tides are affected by it. We just are, especially as women. We go through cycles, the moon goes through cycles. So if you're feeling a little extra today, please know that it's totally normal.
A little extra. I'm feeling extra, which is like story of my life, but especially today. And I had to remind myself, like, it's just the full moon. It's not normal.
Which totally helps.
Amplified. Like, it does help. It really helps you feel less crazy.
You know, ever since, this is just a tiny tangent. I know I go on tangents. This, I promise you, is just a little short one. But feel free to interrupt me. But when I started getting more into like spirituality and stuff, I started following, first it was John Edward, you know, the medium who talks to like people who have crossed over. And then there was Teresa Caputo. I freaking love that little lady. She's wonderful. Like, I just get such a good vibe from her. Anyway, she said when she started getting connected with her gifts, she got like really bad anxiety. And every time in the beginning when I would meditate and try to practice it more, I would get anxiety, which is the opposite of what you want. So if anxiety for her meant the connection to spirituality or whatever, the soul connection was occurring, then it was easier for me to accept that that might be what's going on with me. When I meditate about, you know, my spirit or spirit guides or anything, and I get that anxiety, I'm like, okay, good, something's happening. Like, I know this is how my body is translating that connection. Doesn't mean I like it or that I don't want it to like get better, but it's easier for me to know that I'm not just like doing it wrong, or it's not just a big fail because I feel a little bit of anxiety. If I can push through it and like welcome whatever's coming, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So don't be
I like
scared.
the part where you said,
scared of anxiety.
I like the part where you said you're not a big fat failure just because you have anxiety. Like, do you know how normal anxiety is? Pretty much, right? I think like 70% of people on this planet suffer from some form of anxiety, which is something that I've been talking a lot about lately because I've always had anxiety. And I realized that soothing your nervous system and getting grounded in your body is so helpful. It can help your thoughts, which we'll probably have to do an episode on anxiety because
and I mean, and so like the way I translate it today is, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's so much energy. Not only do we have this super powerful manifesting full moon, but we also have Mercury retrograde right now. Like, nothing's going right, and that's okay. You just have to like go with the flow. It's a really good opportunity for us to practice going with the flow and to just allow and kind of give up control, because you're just pushing against the grain if you try to keep control in that situation. But yeah, so there was something else I was going to say about that too. Just the fact that anxiety is riding high today for sure. So I know for me, I thought I was just hypoglycemic because I hadn't eaten, but I think it's probably just a tiny part of it. Because even after I ate now, I'm still feeling like a little bit, but welcome that full moon. Use it as a translation to know that you're connected and you're being affected by it in a good way, you know.
Well, whatever you're feeling going into the full moon is just going to be amplified by the energy of the full moon. Mm-hmm. And haters can say what they want to say, and they can be like, this is dumb. How would the moon affect us? Astrology is lame. But listen, if the moon like makes the tides of the ocean on the whole earth go in and out, and it controls all that water, how is it even physically possible that it's not affecting you in a huge way when your body is like 80% water?
It's not a coincidence that
affect you.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that there's ton more emergency room visits on full moons. It's just, you know, the energy's wacky. You can never really like know how it's going to play out. You can just try and know how you react, you know, to that kind of stuff, and know that it's all working out in your favor. You just have to figure out how to decode the messages that you're getting. One of the biggest downloads I got today was meditate. I need to sit in silence because something's happening here. I need to figure out what it is. But that is actually something that we're going to talk about too, is this full moon in particular. You guys, it's on 11/11. It's perfect for manifesting. So pay attention to your intuition, because your intuition's super loud right now and is trying to give you niggles, which is probably what's happening with me. But listen to the niggle. Trust yourself. You know what you're talking about, especially in the next few days. Trust what's coming through to you, because it's real.
Yeah.
Yes?
And speaking to the whole 11:11 thing. So as we're recording this show, it's 11:11. And this is said to be.
It was just 11:11 p.m. by the way, my time. The time was 11:11 on 11:11.
Well, that's perfect.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Twinkle, twinkle. I was just imagining like glitter all around you.
I know. It's so cool. Go ahead.
So the 11:11 portal is really powerful because there's 4 ones in a row, and 1 in numerology. I don't know like the specific meaning of it, but I'm picking up just directly that the meaning of 1, it's like the start of a new creation, because 0 is like the break even point, or like the fresh start where nothing has been created yet. But 1 is like the first step of like bringing something into like a solid form. So it's like anything that you go out of your way to manifest and create today could be something that's going to be the beginning of something new or something long lasting. And I don't know a lot about astrology, but I love to watch videos on YouTube where astrologers give like the energy forecast for the week or whatever the moon is about. And I've been watching a bunch about this Taurus full moon coming up, happening right now. And they are saying that it's a time of manifestation, and when you can manifest things that will really have staying power, like things that can last.
Yeah.
Whether that's like a relationship or security in your finances or better health or a new career path or whatever it is. This is the time to get intentional and create those things that you want to be long lasting.
Yeah. And also to celebrate all the accomplishments that you've had since the last full moon. You know, the full moon is like a coming of a full circle. Like, what am I proud of? What am I ready to release? And where am I going from here? What are you manifesting? I need to know.
Well,
with this special, super powerful Taurus full moon that we have.
Let's see. I'm manifesting. Well, today I was writing down a lot of the feelings that I'm wanting to cultivate more of, just like how we talked about last week in the indirect versus direct manifesting. So, connection, like intimacy in my friendships and my family relationships, and just in general with people. I just want to connect with people more and feel connected with them. And I want to feel seen, and I want to see them. And I really crave like a deep level of intimacy. Like small talk is like fine, but when people like tell me their life story and then they hear mine and then we like cry in front of each other and it's not weird, like that to me is way more fulfilling than just like, oh, how'd your day go? What did you do? It's a full moon. Woo. Yeah. So yeah, intimacy, connection, community, what else? Fun. I'm really focused on health, going to the gym a lot, drinking green juice and stuff. What else did I write in my thing? One of my big goals right now is to sell out my self-love retreat, which I'm super excited about because I have a bunch of calls this week. So hopefully some of those ladies will decide to join. And yeah, I'm really just focused on my career, my emotional and physical well-being, and connection and fulfillment in my career as far as like purpose. Like I feel like my purpose is not just to help people. That's like a broad way to put it, but I really feel like I'm here to remind people to dream bigger and to love themselves and to just teach things that have worked for me in my own special way for other people. So hopefully it works for them too.
Yeah. And I think that's important for any manifestation, is if you don't have to have every little detail planned out. You have to have the feeling for sure. And some even argue that the how, myself and you included, that the how is none of your damn business anyway. So forget about it and just focus on what the result is going to be. And that's a fantastic goal. to manifest in this full moon. So we'll check in next month and see how much of it came true. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we should do that actually. So what are you creating?
Yeah.
What are you calling in today?
Well, it's super funny because I knew, like, you know how you know something, you acknowledge something and then it falls out of your brain. And then when it comes back, you're like, oh yeah. So today, when we talked about doing a show about the moon, which was just perfect timing, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then when I got upstairs into my office, I was like, I really feel pulled to write a narrative, like an updated narrative. And if you hadn't watched the previous shows or listened, the narrative is something I talk about when I work with clients to really flesh out what your goal is and feel all the feelings and every little detail. Like if you want more business, let's say, for example, then you would include the vacations that you just got back from and the team that you hired, if that's something you want to do. And every goal around that big goal is what your narrative anatomy is basically made of. So I hadn't done a new one since I think it's been like 4 months or something. So I made a new one. It's just really weird timing because then I remembered, oh my God, it's the full moon and I'm supposed to be manifesting anyway. Like it took me 4 months to get up the motivation to do this, and it happens to be on this Taurus full moon. Like, come on, Lindsay. No coincidences. So I am manifesting, back to the question, I'm manifesting more dream clients as usual. I'd really love to take another vacation soon. So I put that in my narrative. So just ways to create opportunities for that to happen. And we're also, don't tell anyone guys, but we're also looking at possibly buying a house soon. So calling in those opportunities in that arena as well, and things to look for, what's important to us in a house, and just creating opportunity. And of course, steady income, more steady income is awesome always. So yeah, really, really interesting timing that this is the money full moon, because that's definitely what I'm feeling today. For sure.
It's all about manifesting money and love, because
and
Venus
love
is the ruler of those planets, and like, who doesn't want more love and more money?
They're like the two biggest ones, right? I think last we checked, those are the two biggest ones on the list.
Those are the two biggest ones that people come to us for, because we also have desires for those two things.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't need any more like romantic love in my life, because that might make a few people mad. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, I know we have to go to break pretty soon, but somebody today, shout out to the Instagram follower who sent me a message today that quoted my dear husband, Abel, with his, if all you can do is wait really, really well. She, I think it's a she, it doesn't really say in her profile name, but I'm assuming it's a she. She put that in. She goes, thank you for this, because it really saved me when the SHIT hit the fan. And I immediately went to Abel and I was like, babe, somebody took your
famous.
Yeah, like you made them feel so good. And which made me feel good and put a smile on his face. I'm like, I don't know why you don't just come on the show. And he's just like, what am I gonna say? I'm like, anything. You can say anything. But yeah, I thought that was so cute, because yeah, people, it resonates. He's a smart man. I don't know why I brought that up. Oh yeah, romantic love. I'm good there. But that's for Kelsey. She's gonna help you guys figure that out.
Well, just because you're in love with somebody doesn't mean you can't be more in love.
I mean, that's true.
Work on your relationship or enhance
whatever
aspects of it.
When I hear like calling in love, I'm like, I don't need like a pool boy or anything.
A pool boy.
I don't even have a pool. I don't know, guys. It's terrible.
Goodness.
Okay. Well, when we come back from break, we're going to take a quick one. Come back from break, we're going to talk about our favorite things to do during the full moon, and things you can start doing today or wait for the next full moon. Really great ways to call in what you want. So we will be right back after the break. Hey guys, welcome back to this new episode of Hi Vibin It, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of amazing classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. You can take classes in everything from photography to creative writing to design, productivity. I know I'm taking one on social media and bookkeeping. So many options. So whether you're returning to a longtime passion project, challenging yourself to get outside your comfort zone, or even want to explore something new, Skillshare has classes for you. Like I mentioned, I'm taking bookkeeping and social media presence as an entrepreneur. Those two things are super duper important to me. And I know I can always use enhancement in those areas. I also, just for fun, am taking a course on interior design because, as I mentioned before, we are possibly looking for options in buying a house, and I have no creative like decorating bones in my body. So I'm excited to take that one as well. But there's all kinds of classes. So if you guys want to join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today, you can join with a special offer just for listening to the show. So go to Skillshare.com/Vibin and you get 2 free months starting the second that you sign up. Super easy to do that. Just go to Skillshare.com/Vibin, Vibin, and get started today.
Dude, that's such a legit offer. 2 months free. And also Skillshare is really cool because you don't have to pay for the classes individually. Like once you're in, you're in. You can take as many classes as you want. And there's so many cool ones on all different stuff. So definitely go check it out. Skillshare.com/Vibin.
What's the class you want to take, Kels?
There was some classes about taking better care of your plants. That intrigued me.
Oh, I need that too.
There was a class I saw about like creating macrame, like wall hangings, which that sounds like something that I would really love. I love using crafts as a way to soothe my anxiety. So Skillshare is perfect if you're like that. Yeah. And you know that coloring or painting or crafting in some way is going to help you relax your nervous system, then go do it.
I used to be so creative. I used to draw on things, and I know getting back into that is something I've thought about for a while. So I might actually take those creative ones as well. Speaking of plants, last weekend, first of all, plants are really good energy for the house. So last weekend I went to this nursery by my house and bought a lucky money tree. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of those? Oh,
yeah. Did you put it in your prosperity corner?
I did. And it's funny because I was looking at my house without even remembering like the Bagua, like specifically, which is the feng shui map. I was like, it will look very good in that. I'm just feeling this corner. And then I went to reference it and I was like, yep, that's perfect. And I even asked my husband, I was like, guess where the plant goes and guess why. And he like immediately, because I'm so weird, but he's like, what, is that like the money corner? I was like, yes, actually that is the money corner. So anyway.
For anyone who's wondering which part of your house is the money corner where you can set your intentions and put your money manifesting things, it's the back left corner. So like in any room, it's the back left, the far left corner from the door. And in your house, like the front door is the front of your house, and then the back left room would be considered like the money area. So good place to put those things that represent abundance, whatever that means to you.
Yes. And then I also, tell me what you think about this, and then we'll get back to like the magic of the moon. But somebody told me that if there's a money plant, let's say the lucky money plant, don't face it towards the door because anything facing the door will leave. I don't know if that's just like an old thing, or if that's, I don't think it's part of feng shui, but it was just like a saying, like, don't put your purse on the floor.
Well, it depends what feels better to you, because if you go into like any Chinese restaurant, they have that little cat with the little that goes back and forth, and it's like a golden
right by the door.
The cat is inviting in abundance, and it's right by the door.
Yeah.
So it's usually at the entrance of the facility. So it's like whatever feels better to you. If it feels like it's inviting money in, cool. What's really bad to have leading out of the front door is a staircase. So like if you open the doors and then there's a staircase right there, all the chi is going down the stairs out the door, because the momentum of energy will go down the stairs, not up the stairs.
Wait. So when you open my front door, there's like, if you take 3 steps forward, there's the staircase, but it goes up to the right.
Well, that's better than if it goes up straight, but you can slow the momentum by using like a feng shui cure. So a lot of people will hang a little crystal at the bottom of the stairs from the ceiling, and that will like disperse the energy kind of, so it's not all going down and out the door. There are a bunch of feng shui cures. We really need to do a show on feng shui. I always say that I'm obsessed with feng shui.
There's so much we could talk about with it, but I want to get back to this moon stuff, because that is the most pressing thing right now. And I really, the energy is really high with the full moon and is really prime for manifesting whatever it is you want. We talked about intuition. Listen to your intuition. Trust, if you're especially worried about your finances or your love life, let's say, because this is the full moon for that, just do your best to trust that it's all working out. Like, try not to dwell so much at this moment on the lack of, which is never a good idea anyway, but especially the next couple days, really focus on that trust and that allowing that everything is working out and the universe has my best interest at heart. And if you guys need help or would like more ideas on how to do this, that's what we're going to talk about now. So our favorite rituals and our favorite, I guess, ways to bring in what we're manifesting. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So one of the rituals that I like to do on the full moon, and I haven't done it in a while because now I live in an apartment complex and I don't think that my balcony gets any like direct moonlight. But what I normally do is I will charge my crystals to the moonlight and the sunlight. So I usually leave them outside for like a full 24 hours during the full moon so that they can recharge and absorb the energy. All crystals like to be cleansed in different ways, but it's pretty safe to say that you can sage pretty much any crystal. So that's a good way to cleanse them if you don't have access to like moonlight, like how I was saying that I live in an apartment. I don't think I get moonlight right there. So yeah, I connect with my crystals, I clean their energy. And usually during the full moon, my emotions are like really heightened. So if there's anything that needs to be processed or released, I just do all that work. Like today, I'll probably like cry before I sleep because some things need to be let out of my body.
Oh my goodness. I was waiting for it too, because you're so connected. Like, here's the thing. And this is going back to like what I wanted to say before, and then I forgot because I do that all the time. But the connection to your body, okay, as somebody like myself who tends to overthink and is a little bit probably more of an analytical, what do they really mean by what they just said kind of person, it's hard for me, generally speaking, to connect with my body, which is probably why I don't really work out. Like, I don't really feel like that motivation to do that. Anything involving like bodily stuff, I'm just not, it's hard for me to get in touch with that kind of thing. Whereas you're the perfect yin to my yang, because you are like, you dance to reconnect. You are a dancer. You're very connected to that part of you. So I just want to put it out there. If it's hard for you, you're not alone. And there are ways around it, and there are ways to get better with it. And it really is just about practice. It's about like really tuning in. And that's why a lot of times journaling and stuff helps, but it's like without that connection to the body, there's also a little bit of compartmentalization with me when it comes to my emotions. Like, it's so easy for me to just be like, yep, I'm gonna put that right back there and I'm not gonna think about it for a good year or more.
For a year.
Like that's like the standard, just 1 year. But so body connection to the body is a thing, and as a stepchild to that, I guess, I don't want to be derogatory to stepchildren, but as a descendant of that would be also my disconnection, or it's harder for me to tune in and really flesh out what I'm feeling, which is probably why it translates to me as like anxiety, because it's hard for me,
because it's like building up on the inside.
Yeah. So it really just is about taking that extra time for introspection and tuning in and just listening. Like, a lot of people like me who are overanalyzers or overthinkers, is they're so worried about the thoughts in the future, and they're like 5, 6, 7 thoughts ahead, that they don't stop to figure this out. They don't stop to figure out what's happening right now, because they got places to go, they got things to overthink, they have wheels to be turning even when they don't need to be turning. So practice. I know I'm getting better at it all the time. It's so much easier for me to help someone else do it than it is for me to really get down and put my nose to the grindstone and get the inner work done. But it's something we all need. So especially now with this energy going on, I want to challenge everybody who is like me, and I'm going to do it too, to really be like Kelsey and just do your best.
Cry yourself to sleep and be like Kelsey.
Like, if that's what it takes, or even just listen to yourself. Like, for some people, the thought of sitting in silence terrifies them. Yeah. And now is such an important time to do that. So
also, I just want to say that I don't usually cry myself to sleep. This is an exception to the rule. So don't feel sorry for me or feel like I have a terrible life, because this morning I woke up feeling so good and so grateful, but I just got a little triggered this afternoon and I haven't been able to process the trigger. And I am like an overachiever.
We need to talk about that after the show.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm an overachiever in every sense of the word, even when it comes to my healing and when it comes to feeling my feelings, which has been like my new goal over like the last year. So anytime I have like an emotion come up, I like just sit with it and I just let it be and I just let it out. So if I feel like overwhelmed, I might need to cry. If I feel sad, I might need to cry. And then afterwards, I feel so good. And people are like, wow, your energy is so great. I'm like, yeah, because I actually feel my feelings.
Right?
That way I feel good most of the time.
Exactly. And just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's going to go away. And to be clear, I will say, like when Kelsey says like, don't feel sorry for me, this is just what I do. I 100% get where you're coming from. Cause like the first couple times we would talk and you'd be like so upset, my heart would literally be like, oh my gosh, it would go out to you. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? But now like we're so far into this relationship that like, I know that is exactly how you reset. That's how you snap back. That's how you get out whatever is in there. And so when it happens, if it happens, I'm just like, yeah, this is her process. Like you go.
It's really funny because everybody wants to fix it, right? Nobody wants to see somebody they love sad. But what if them being sad for a few minutes is the best possible thing for them so that they can clear the sadness and move on with their life, you know?
Can I just say you have spoken such truth, but in the situation of like my 3-year-old, because my husband made a good point. He's like, we've never let him like really be disappointed in anything. We try to make it better like immediately, which is true because he's a middle child and he's like, I don't know, man, something's different when you have like a middle, like it's, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but it's so true that immediately when he gets upset, it's hard for him to accept that things are the way they are. Like the other day he got mad because he wasn't Aiden's boss. Aiden is my oldest and he's like, when am I going to get to be the boss? I'm like, well, buddy, never. You're just never going to be the boss. I'm sorry. Maybe to your little brother, but you still have to listen to me and you still have to listen to daddy, you know, that kind of thing. And he was so upset by it. So like, he just doesn't accept things well. And when you just said that, I was like, okay, universe. Just point taken. I got it.
Because like, especially with the mother-child dynamic, like no mother wants to see their child in any sort of emotional upset, and we want to repair the situation right away. And like, while it's important to repair quickly, it's also important to like let your kids be their own person and like learn lessons in an uncomfortable way, you know?
Yes.
Because if you always go in to save the day, they never learn how to self-soothe. And self-soothing is one of the most important life skills ever, which is something I'll definitely be teaching at my self-love retreat because almost nobody knows how to do it.
Exactly. Well,
people
preach
don't know how to hold space for themselves, and I do. So that's why I don't feel bad for myself when I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because I don't even call it feeling bad anymore. It's just uncomfortable. And now that I've practiced it so much, I'm getting more comfortable in my uncomfortable emotions, and I just don't judge them as bad.
Exactly. And I think it's great that you don't, because it is what it is. Like there's only what it feels like. And if it feels like, I will say, contrast to where you're going and what you want to bring in, then at least it's there for you to acknowledge it and to turn it around or do your best to clear it or release it.
Let's talk about contrast, because the contrast is where the magic actually begins. When you have that moment of uncomfortability, when you have that moment of loneliness, that's when you create that huge, massive, strong desire for connection. When you have that moment of sadness, that's when you desire happiness. Like if I had never had depression for 3 years and I didn't have that strong asking for wellness, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have such a full spectrum of emotions. I wouldn't live my life to such a large degree because I would have never gone through that contrast, which expanded me greatly. So the contrast is where the beginning of the manifestation process begins. So instead of being like, this sucks, I mean, it can suck. That's fine. You can think that it sucks, but like, just know that it's actually helping you in the long run.
Yeah. It's just, it's about feeling it and being like, ooh, ooh, yeah, I don't like this. This is not what I want for my life. And then, okay, so what am I going to do about it, kind of thing?
Yeah. So for the full moon, tying this all back in, I do all my crystal stuff and all my emotional stuff. So if I need to journal or meditating on this day is always, I mean, meditating any day is a good idea,
Yeah.
but especially on a day like this where it's the full moon. Honestly, I do a lot more of my rituals during the new moon, which we'll get into in the next segment. But what are some of the things that you do during the full moon, Linz?
Well, this is the perfect time to talk about it after we come back from the break. I don't want to get into it and then have to like stop. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you guys my favorite thing. And I make my husband do it and he loves it, even though he won't admit it. The thing that we do during the full moon to bring in more goodness and love to our lives. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kelsey Aida here, your favorite inspirational blogger and author. And today we're talking about moon magic. So Lindsay's about to go into some of the things that she likes to do in the moon. But first we want to talk about our sponsor that we love.
Yeah, so this part of the show is brought to you by Super Chewer, and it's from the makers of BarkBox, and it is basically a fun subscription toy box for your little doggy. So it comes with 2 tough toys, 2 full-size bags of treats, and 2 meaty chews, and this is a subscription box for, like, active dogs, like the kind that need maybe some tougher toys, but it's really, really great. It's got different interactive, themes, so they're durable, all natural. They're created by these really expert toy designers. They have pool toys, fetch flinging toys, treat lock systems, puzzles, all kinds of really, really good stuff. So each month celebrates a different surprise theme and play style with tips and tricks to make playtime together even better. All treats and chews are made in the US and are allergy friendly they have allergy friendly options for those dogs that need it. And options for dietary restrictions. There's basically anything you could ever want. So
it's so cute. I'm just thinking of dogs with little allergies and how they need like special toys. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and you guys get free shipping for life inside the continental US, and it also ships to Canada. And so you guys as listeners get 50% off of your first Super Chewer box when you visit superchewer.com/ what's the code? Guess what
Vibin.
It is. Vibin, as always, VIBIN, superchewer.com/ Vibin, and either subscribe to the 6-month plan or the 12-month plan, and you guys are good to go for 50% off. It's really cool.
Yeah, Christmas and you get free shipping in the continental 48 states, like we said. And if you want to be one of those puppy parents that spoils your pup and you want your puppy to have a super high vibe life too, which means they should be having a lot of fun, then you should definitely become a Super Chewer advocate and try out their stuff because it's really awesome and really cute.
Yeah, your dog wants it. Go to superchewer.com/ Vibin.
We are animal whisperers now, and we are telling you that they want.
Okay, here, seriously though, fun fact, I actually have talked to a dog before and gotten some super psychic downloads, and the owner was like, oh my God, how did you know that?
Hello, it's called channeling. You can channel anything.
Well, in when I was training, we had this animal communications class, and I freaking nailed it. Dude, I was so tuned in the whole time. Anyway, so yeah, moon magic. So here's what I love to do. Like I said before, I make my husband do it. I don't really make him. Like, I make him watch, The Bachelor. I do make him watch that. But with this, he's actually a little semi into it because who isn't intrigued by this kind of thing? So I just say, you want to go do like a quick release ritual? And he's like, yeah, of course. Can I bring my beer? I say, yes, you can. So we go outside. And if you can't go outside, you can do this in your house too. So all you're going to need is a pen and paper and really anything that will cause flame. So candles, matches, a lighter, anything like that. Be safe about this, please. We're all adults here, so be safe. But you need pen and paper, something with flame, and a glass bowl. And then anything else that really creates for you that connection with the universe and your spirit. So for me, it's definitely sage. Like you can bring your sage and just sage beforehand. I sage today already. I'll probably do it again today. Crystals, oils. I mean, you can bring pretty much anything. Tarot. What else? Anything to enhance your connection. Just bring it and create this like lovely space to do this little ritual. And it takes maybe 10 minutes. Well, it takes as long as you want, but it can be as quick as 10 minutes. You're going to clear your energy. And the best way I like to do that is, of course, the sage, and also a visualization where I'm basically standing. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's like my spirit aura is standing under like a cleansing waterfall. And I know that the waterfall in my visualization is going to clear me, clear my energy, and create space for these manifestations. My husband skips that part because he's like, whatever, but I do it. So you can do this clear your energy visualization. And then this is the fun part. You write down what you're releasing. So for me, sometimes it's resistance, just the idea of not allowing, sometimes it's I release the need for control. Those are usually the themes of what I'm mostly releasing most of the time. These ideas of lack or not good enough, those kind of things. Just write it down, whatever it is you're releasing. Now, what you're bringing in, you're writing down what you're releasing. And you can even write the sentence, I am releasing blah. Once you've written it down, you can I don't really do more than like 3 at a time. 3 is a really good number, but you can even just do 1. Write down what you're releasing and, say a little prayer and just say like, I affirm that I'm releasing such and such for my highest good. And so it is, something like that. And then you just light it up. You just light it on fire. You can either watch it burn. I don't know. I think it's like magician's paper, but you can buy a special paper that just burns up so fast and it looks like a magic trick. Like it's so cool. Or you can just use regular paper. Either way, I think it's like some kind of tissue paper or something, but I just use regular most of the time. And just watch it burn and really feel, that thing where like you release balloons for a loved one and it's like you're lifting a weight. That's the same kind of effect that you're going for. It's going to feel like a weight's been lifted, hopefully, is what you're going to tune into. And then, what a little bonus is what I try to do every time is really hold space for forgiving myself for holding on to it, number 1. And number 2, thanking whatever the thing is for fulfilling its purpose. Because as I always say, you don't have anything that's part of you that wasn't needed at one point. There's nothing, we're just not designed to create things unless there is a purpose at some point for it. Every kind of defense mechanism or limiting belief has come from a need at one point. It doesn't mean you still need it. It doesn't mean that you still have to carry it around. You absolutely have the right to release it if it's not serving you any longer. If you've evolved past it or outgrown it, that's when you light that bitch on fire. You let it fly away. Fire. But it is important to thank it for fulfilling its purpose and for forgive yourself for holding on to it for so long. Yes?
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to do it tonight. I'm so excited to do it. It's like my favorite part of the full moon.
When I do rituals like this, I like to get my family involved or my friends involved. It's really fun to do in like a group setting. And building off of your ritual, if you're close with these people that you're doing it with, it's really nice to like read it out loud and kind of like declare what you're letting go of. So like you read your list to each other, which is a way to build connection and intimacy and to declare, I am letting go of these things. Yep. That is my intention. We no longer need these. Thank you for the purpose that you served, but we're moving on.
Yeah, it's such a great, I love doing it in just with my husband, but I'm also getting the idea of like, as soon as my kids are older, to bring them into it too, because I'm sure.
Yeah, you can make it like a fun family thing, make some s'mores, start a fire.
Yeah.
All in there.
And we live in Nevada, so the weather's always perfect for a fire. Yeah. I don't know. My son will probably just want to release homework.
I'm never doing my homework again.
I now release my homework. Thank you for nothing.
That's awesome.
Oh, geez. Anyway.
Okay, so moving on to the new moon. Yes. Let's touch on this because I actually get really excited during the new moon. And it's funny because the new moon is something that always like sneaks up on me because I'm not like really tracking it. But when it's the new moon, I can always feel it because I have a really strong urge to clean my house.
Yeah.
This is every single month on the new moon. I'm like, I need to clean, but it's not
Yeah.
like in the normal way that I like to clean. It's like, I need to do my sage and I need to clean all the little corners and I need to really scrub my shower with bleach 3 times. And I need to like clean the whole energy of the house, like open the windows and turn on music. And I get super into it. And then I'm like, is today the new moon? And I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, it is. That explains why I'm having this feeling.
I'm so the same way with Mercury retrograde because I will always have something go wrong and I'll be like, it can't be. Is it? And then I'll look and it is. It happens every time. Happened today.
Yeah. So the new moon is known for and good for new beginnings. Think of it as like a clean slate or a fresh start. Like when you look at the new moon, it looks like there's no moon in the sky. It's just blank, you know? So this is the beginning of the cycle. It's a great time for cleaning your energy, like physically, or saging your own self, or releasing whatever you got to do, cleaning your house. It's also a time to just renew. So if you need to take a bath, or what's really good to do during the new moon is to cleanse your energy and do some self-care at the same time. You can take a bath with Epsom salt because salt of any kind will clean your energy, and sitting in the tub with salt will help to like clear your aura. And you can also sage later or whatever you got to do. I was going to say another thing that you can do, but now I got all shy.
Do it. Say it. I know what you're going to see already. Come on.
You know what I'm going to say?
Of course I know what you're going to say. Of course I know.
That you can also do a yoni steam. This is a great time.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but it's in the same area.
So, shout out to my friend Selena of the Moon Medicine. She creates an herbal blend that you can make basically into like a tea, and then you use it to like steam your root chakra. That's as much detail as I'll go into. And it feels really nice, and it's helpful to recharge and reset everything. So ladies, that's a great way to recharge your womb during the new moon time. It's a good ritual to incorporate.
I love the idea of it because especially, let's say if you're looking to get pregnant, some people think that clearing the energy of what you're holding on to that's maybe preventing it could be definitely the first step in doing that. So I like that idea a lot.
Think of not just pregnancy as in like making a baby, but think of being fertile for just creating anything in your life.
Yeah.
If you're a woman and you have a womb, you're fucking powerful. You are the ultimate creator. Like you create people, and also you use that same energy to create whatever the fuck you want in your life. So, embrace it. What else is the new moon good for? Intention setting. That's when I like to do a lot of my manifesting work. So like the full moon is more so for releasing things, and then the new moon is for calling in new things.
Yes. I like it. Yeah, I always understood that the new moon, and no coincidence that the moon cycle and the menstrual cycle, you have your ovulation, which is the full moon, and then you have your period, which is the new moon, or is it opposite? I can't remember which one it is, but they're all the same. It's like the same time apart, 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks from your intention to the harvesting of that intention, harvesting the manifestation and figuring out where it is that you're going. So, women are freaking badass.
New moon is the time to do all your manifesting work, make the lists of the feelings you want to cultivate more of, and meditate and visualize what you're calling in. Like I said, I like to cleanse my home. I'll usually play like really high frequency vibrations on the TV to clean the energy of my home and open all the windows, and just like, it's a reset. It's a fresh start and time to start creating new things within the month.
Speaking of manifesting and creating new things, before we go, we want to talk a little bit about the Patreon goal we have going on.
Yeah.
So it was Kelsey's idea, but it's just so freaking genius. So we have this goal on our Patreon, and if you want to go check it out, it's patreon.com/high vibe. Yes, /. I always confuse our promo code with our Patreon. Patreon.com/high vibe. Go there, check it out. We have a goal. If we get 50 patrons, 50 people supporting our show and helping us to bring you the best of what we got, Kelsey's going to fly out here to Vegas, hang out with me. We're probably going to do a ton of live stuff. and lots of special stuff for you guys on the Patreon page. So go check it out and help us meet each other in real life for the first time.
Woo! Yeah, if you're a Patreon person, you get to watch all of our episodes via video. So you get to like actually see us. And we do extended episodes on there. So we dive into more stuff, and we usually pull cards for everyone each week, which is fun.
We forgot to do that. We're going to have to do it on the Patreon today because that's something that we need to do for the full moon. We have discounts on there, all kinds of bonus stuff. So go check it out.
And also, I wanted to say before we close that I'm still enrolling people for my self-love retreat. So if you want to come to Mexico with me in February, then go to kelseyaida.com/retreat, because we're going to have a 5-day all-inclusive experience. And there will be a new moon ritual because I planned it around the moon on purpose. And I'm not going to say what it is because I want it to be a surprise, but it's going to be so fun and so cool. So if you want to get on the wait list.
Are you going to steam some root chakras?
No, probably not, because we only have so many bathrooms for all these women. But, you know, I might be incorporating that into the gift basket that everyone's going to get.
Nice.
So you never know.
Go check out Kelsey's retreat. Go to my website, lindsayrobinson.com/apply-now to be one of the last clients I see for 2019. I only have 2 spots left, so get at it. We love you guys as always so much. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us for this little bit. And we'll see you next week.